Hey guys, how you doing? So, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I'm going to do a little comparison of these two guys. So big on a fit on the screen, there you go. Listen, I know one's 72nd and one's 48th, but let's see exactly, I'm curious, to see the difference in sizing between the two, kind of on the bench, kind of laid out. I also want to see exactly how far these 72nd kits have come along in terms of detail. This is obviously immense in terms of what's on this kit, but I just want to see how this one compares. Again, I'm not a Tomcat expert, so I'm not sure about shapes and that kind of stuff, but let's really want to look at kind of the overall scheme of things and just compare. So if you're in a situation like me where you're trying to decide, hey, should I go 72nd or 48 because it is a big bird, hopefully this might help. So I'm going to switch down to the bench and let's go through, I'll pick out a handful of sprues from each one and we can kind of compare the size and the parts and the detail on each one. Okay, so let's go down to the bench. Okay, so now we're down back on the bench, so let's kind of compare some of this stuff. So let's start with the upper fuselage. So this is your AMK 48 scale, and this is your Great Wall Hobbies 72nd scale. So in terms of size, just kind of measure it back here, that is almost 10 inches, and actually these pieces are almost identical in terms of where they kind of cut off in terms of the section area. So that's almost 10 inches. This guy is 7 inches. Okay, so in terms of looking at detail, I mean, I gotta say, to my eye, this one's kind of hard to see. They seem very similar in terms of, I mean, the rivet, the detail, the panels, they're all the same place. This is obviously a little bit, the lines are a little bit more deeper, bigger, but obviously this is a bigger scale. This is very refined. I mean, for a 72nd scale, I mean, that is pretty amazing. My only concern is, though, you gotta be careful with this in terms of primer and paint. You don't go too thick, otherwise you're going to fill these pound lines in. So I guess maybe lacquer paint would be ideal for this. So okay, so this is it's interesting how they did this too. They almost built the same way. Okay, next let's look at the front assembly. So with this kit, it's 2 pieces make up the front. With this kit, as you guys might remember, it's 1-piece slide molded, no seam lines. So let's kind of compare this again. Again, it's pretty similar in terms of detail. It's they get the pound lines, the rivets. I mean, this is just really just a mini version of this, just in 72nd scale. Just trying to get this on an angle so you can kind of see the light, capture the light, some of this detail. Okay, size-wise again. So if you imagine that kind of sits on like that. Like that. Again, you can kind of see the difference in size. Cool. Okay. What else we got here? So we can look at let's look at wings. So 72nd Great Wall Hobbies, and then there's your 48 scale AMK. So see, again, in terms of size, you can see quite a difference, the difference in size there. So in terms of detail, Again, the wings don't really have much. You have a couple of access points. That's really it. But, okay, that gives you kind of idea of size. So again, if we kind of actually, if I did this one underneath it, then wings extended. So I think you'll see what I'm kind of doing in a minute. So that's the wings will go like that. So that kind of gives you an idea of size. And then sit that one on there with the wing like that. Then there again, so you can see kind of the size differential between 72nd and 48th scale. Lastly, let's look at the exhaust. This is a one let down for me on the 72nd Great Wall Hobbies kit. I didn't mention in the review video, but looking at this again, I'd probably, I mean, everything's amazing detail, but this is very kind of bland. Maybe I want to spice it up with maybe the photo etch or a resin aftermarket nozzles. But compared to this, again, it's pretty plain on the outside, but if you look on the inside, wait, that's a scratching. Maybe they like that in real life, I don't know. But again, you can kind of see the difference in nozzle size, close and open. But found, so I mean, I've got a few more sprues here. What else can we check? Let's check tails. Size in terms of detail, absolutely identical. I'm looking here. Sorry, it's not even in the camera shot. If you can kind of catch that, it's identical. This is just a smaller version. Cool. So let me flip the camera back around and then let's finish this up. I'll go over my conclusions. So there you go. So that's the a quick comparison between the two. I'm not going to go through every single sprue. These boxes are so packed. We'll be here all night. Plus they're all packed in plastic bags. It would be a nightmare. But hopefully those main components that I showed you gives you an idea, helps you decide which way you want to go. Very impressed with the Great Wall Hobbies 72nd scale compared up to the AMK. I mean, the details pretty much on a par with each. Only concern with this, obviously, this is fine, which is perfect. It's within scale. So, I mean, if you hose the paint on, you're going to lose some of this information, this detail. So, you know, if you be careful with this, you know, light prime coat and then paint it maybe with lacquers or thin layers, and don't lose any of this rivet detail and all the panel lines, then it's looking fantastic when it's washed. Has a wash on it. This will look great. So too with this one, obviously. Both great kits. The difference between the two kits in terms of what you get in the box. The AMK has everything. This has more weapons, has tons of different weapons, and has full engine detail. Not that you really see those. Apart from that, everything else is kind of comparable what you get in the box in terms of features. Both have you can extend the flaps and slats, and I believe both radar. I know this one for sure. I forgot. You can go back and check my review. I'm pretty sure this has a radar too. If that's what you're looking for. Actually, I think it does. So yeah, both great kits. So in terms of size, a Tomcat F-14D in real life was 63 foot long. So in terms of scale, for 72, that means it's going to be 10.5 inches long, and at 48, it means it's going to be 15.75 inches long. In terms of wingspan, it's almost the same as length. It's almost a square. So 64 foot wide is a wingspan on a F-14, and that converts to 10.66 inches in 72nd and 16 inches in 48. So going back to some of the early videos, we talked about kind of where to put it, shelf space, that kind of thing. Average shelf is about 10 inches deep, some 12 inches deep, but typically 10 inches is normally cabinet and kind of shelf, kind of standard kind of measurements you find. So with that being said, 10 to 12, you know, on the angle, whatever, you definitely fit this guy with wings extended on the shelf. This one, as we showed my earlier videos with the Tamiya F-14, it's not going to fit. Wing swept back won't be an issue, but if you want wings extended with the flaps and slats, you can have a problem getting this in an average display cabinet or a shelf without overhanging somewhat. What else? That's pretty much it. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty comparable. Obviously, like this one, it's bigger scale, so in terms of the vents, it's individually molded. You can see through it. This is just molded. You can't see through this one. It's just molded plastic. But again, this is way smaller than this one, so that's not what I expect. The only thing with both kits kind of similar is the engine nozzles. They look very kind of plain. I need to go back and check after this video. I'll look up some Tomcat pictures and see how they are in real life. They seem very plain. In fact, both kits look identical. It makes me think that maybe that's accurate. That's how they are, but I'm not sure how they look in terms of rivet detail and kind of lines and that kind of stuff. If just initial opinion, we'll look at it, maybe think pop a little bit resin or photo etch engines in, and that'll just bring it up and make everything great. But again, I'm not sure. So if you guys know, put a comment below and let me know if how are these engine nozzles on F-14s? Are they detailed or are they just kind of plain like plastic shows it? One last thing too is in terms of decals. AMK, as you saw in my review, I think it comes with 5 different schemes from all different squadrons. This one only comes with Bounty Hunters in high vis, low vis, and a 25th anniversary. So Bounty Hunters only. This one has 5 different ones. That's pretty much it. So I don't know if that video any help or not. Hopefully it is. Not useless exercise, but helps you understand the size difference between these two great kits. They both seem great kits. Nice detail, and it'll be interesting how they build up. I think I might start this one soon, maybe tomorrow. So check out my future videos and I'll let you know my progress, and I'll definitely check back in with you guys and let you know how the build goes. Again, this is purely based upon the plastic in the box. We have no idea how this stuff goes together yet, so one of these might be a dog, I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure both of these manufacturers build pretty good, so fingers crossed both of these build into nice aircraft without huge amounts of filler needed and that kind of stuff. So yeah, there you go. So hope you enjoyed that one. If I don't speak to you before next week or whatever, have a happy new year if you're watching this live. If you're watching this after New Year, then whatever. Have a good one. I'll catch you later. Okay, see you later. Bye.